Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Classes of Mail. My name is Alan Gigax, and I am here with the star of this episode, Michael Brazenly.
Hi everyone.
And Michael has some things that he wants to talk about, some educational things. And so you want to start with what's in the Postal Record?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's in the January's Postal Record.
January of 2026 Postal Record. We're recording this.
December. Volume 138, number 12.
There you go, December of 2025. We're recording this on January 9th. And it's no secret that people at headquarters listen to Classes of Mail. I know a person on the executive council, Mike Cariff, listens regularly. Dude, he sent me feedback about the one about the Facer Canceller. And dude, it was so heartwarming to get feedback from a business agent, presidential candidate. That was so cool. So anyway, we know people up there listen, and we know that people are aware of the shit that's going on in our branch and what a shit show it is. And we can't help but think that some of the articles in this Postal Record were ripped from the headlines of Branch 2502. So we'll talk about that. I mean, there are bigger issues at play, but go ahead and set up.
I'm going to read some parts. I'm not going to read the whole thing. It's on the news on page 26.
All right.
Okay. But the title is The Importance of NALC Constitution. Okay. You know, the NALC Constitution is the governing document of the National Association of Letter Carriers. Okay.
Right.
It's pretty simple. You know, this is how we run our union.
Right.
And this is why it's so important to know about NALC Constitution. Okay. Some of the things that I really wanted to go over, because I think we kind of know a lot of how the NALC works. But I like to go over things like officer duties, what it says. It specifies the roles and responsibilities of national officers, such as the president, who enforces union rules, oversees collective bargaining, and preside over conventions. Okay?
Right.
It also dictates the required officers for local branches, though bylaws can allow for consolidated or additional positions.
Right.
Okay? And so that is basically the local branches are,
subject to the Constitution.
Just like unless the bylaws does something.
Right.
But then the bylaws cannot overrule the Constitution either.
That is correct.
Okay?
The Constitution has supremacy. Yep.
Okay. And then, of course, it talks about the biannual national convention. So this year, we're at the LA
it's
convention.
coming up in LA. Yeah.
And I believe 2 years from this year, in 2028, I think is in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Right. Yep.
Okay. After that, I think it's Hawaii, but
that's what I understand.
But they will let us know more at the LA convention.
There you go.
Okay. And it's got guides of membership rights and responsibilities. The Constitution provides a clear understanding of rights and responsibilities of NALC members. This includes the right to participate in union activities, the ability to vote on key issues such as contracts and leadership, and the expectation that members will uphold the union's rules and regulations. It is a tool that ensures fairness and equality among members and protect individuals from unjust actions.
Yeah. And so we had appeals that you guys have heard about in the past that have gone to national, and we won our appeals over my local branch president on those grounds.
Right.
Because we were not afforded our due process, because our freedom of speech got stifled.
Yeah.
And the one that we have now about our election, that we were unconstitutionally denied our right to run for office. I mean, it talks about elections next, doesn't it?
It's coming up. Yeah, it's coming up.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. It includes provisions that protect members, such as ensuring that the right to fair election is upheld.
Yeah.
And that membership is open to all without regarding to race, creed, color, sex, or national origin.
Yeah. At some point in the near future, I'm going to have Fred Woodley on because he just ended his term he's got like 2 weeks left or something as branch president. And he oversaw the election because he was not a candidate. And you know how many appeals were filed to that election?
Zero.
That is correct.
Very nice. When you do it correctly, you don't need any appeals.
Yeah, like he talked about what he did to safeguard the ballots, to make sure that they could not be tampered with.
Right.
And it was basically right out of the election manual, as opposed to our branch, you know, that kept them just in the office.
Right.
Or in San Diego, where they kept them in the locker room.
Right.
Like, dude, what are these branches doing?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's something.
And then it also establishes process for conflicts and disputes.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's right.
And
Article 10.
Constitution sets guidelines
11.
for resolving conflicts or disputes within the union. It details the procedures for raising disputes and provides a clear framework for addressing issues that arise. Okay.
Dude.
Now here's where I have a little issue on that. It says
Okay.
clear. We have to like read on some of the things over and over because there are stuff in the Constitution that is not
it's
clear.
ambiguous. Yeah, right. It's
So-
not the exact process is not super clear. It's a lot is left to interpretation. But on that note, I heard from a carrier today. I won't say who. I'll protect his anonymity, but he tried to object to a decision of his president. And in Article 11, it says that if you object to something the president says, then it can be brought to the branch and then it's voted on as first item of business. It says like before any other business is conducted. So if it happens at the meeting, then you bring it up right then. Under Article 11, I'm going to appeal your decision and the branch votes on it right then. If it happens in between meetings, then it's just the first order of business at the meeting. And so he brought up this Article 11 appeal. And the branch president is like, all right, we'll talk about it at the next meeting. And then at the meeting, the parliamentarian, who was like the secretary or something, said, no, your appeal is out of order because it has to be filed with the branch secretary. Well, dude, in Article 11, if you disagree with what the branch says, then you appeal to national, and that gets filed with the branch secretary. But the problem is, at the meeting, the shit stands and the guy's appeal doesn't get heard. And now he's got to appeal further shenanigans, but of now I got to appeal this decision. And it's such a goddamn mess from people trying to go around the constitutional process and to avoid, this proper appeal. Like whether the merits of the appeal are right or not, he's got a right to be heard.
Right.
And that's why this shit's in place.
Right. But it says clear, but it's not clear
it's
because
clear enough, dude. That issue's clear.
Yeah, well, but it's not clear to the branch officers, obviously.
Yeah, so that's the problem, right? Like with when Article 10 charges are brought up, what about the right to cross-examine? When does that take place? How does that work? How do you cross-examine people?
Right.
It's a great question. Like, so for example, in Fred Woodley's branch, the person bringing the charges the person being charged, was given a list of all the witnesses, and he just didn't do anything with that list. Okay, fine. In our charges, we asked, like, okay, we want to talk to the election chair. We want to talk to the president. We want to ask these questions. And we were denied that opportunity.
Yes.
And so, like, dude, when it says that you have the right to cross-examine, you better at least be afforded the opportunity.
Right.
And, dude, go ahead.
It's, that's why when I'm reading this, the right and the importance of the NLC Constitution.
Yeah.
And yet, when you got people that's in the upper place of our union, they ignore it and they use the Constitution to block you.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Abusing the power, basically.
Right. That's it. Yeah. They abuse their position because it's all justice delayed. In the meantime, they get their way. And by the time you go through the appeals process, like I had an episode that any rule is only as good as its enforcement mechanism. And this is the problem. And these branch presidents know that.
And every
so this is what he's
rule
talking
that
about
we
here.
got takes so long.
Dude, our appeal on January 9th about being denied the right to run for Stewart is still sitting at the Committee on Appeals.
And from what I gather from OLMS, if the union does not make that decision within 90 days, which I think it's coming up.
We're coming up.
I think
on
we're
that.
right on like a day or 2 days left, 3 days left or something like that.
Okay.
That we have 30 days to file with the OLMS. Okay.
Yeah.
We don't really want to go to OLMS, but if we have to, then we have to. But because here's the thing, I don't know who's doing the appeals, but the one who's running the appeals committee is James Henry.
Right.
And
he just said on Next Generation Cares that like he's been out of the office for a month and a half or something.
Right. So that could be the reason why we haven't got any answers yet.
I would assume so.
But
dude, look at...
I don't want to wait till the last moment to file with OLMS and get ourselves screwed up either.
I'm going to add to that that our union, everybody but Renfro basically, is complaining really loudly about this backlog of grievances and how we're not handling these disputes in a timely manner and how fucked up it is. But
he
look,
took the power away from everybody who can do it.
Well, we're doing it to ourselves. Look how long our appeal has been sitting up there, not acted upon. I mean, if we can't do better for our own people, then where's our moral high ground?
Right. I mean, I don't. Do you know why James Henry was out for a month and a half?
No, I assume vacation and campaigning.
Right.
I don't know.
I'm thinking vacation or whatever. But, because things were happening where, they had 90 days.
Right.
And so we don't want to have that time period to expire.
Right, exactly.
And so, nothing against James Henry, because I love James Henry, okay?
The longer this, I do too. I have every intention to vote for James Henry.
Yeah.
But the longer this goes, it's just also further extending the injustice that was perpetrated. And it's just allowing that to stand.
Right.
Yep. Okay. What's the other article? You're going to read more from this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, it says the NLC Constitution protects the collective bargaining rights. Okay.
Yeah.
That's the CBA that everybody heard about, which is our contract.
Contract and JCAM, yep.
Here's another beef with that, that I have beef with that. Okay?
All right.
So when we file a lot of grievances, that contract violation by management, how are we protecting our contract violations?
By winning grievances? I'm not sure I understand what you're asking.
To management, please don't do it again, and slap in the hand like don't do it again.
Management will comply.
So how are we protecting our collective bargaining agreement
question.
when management gets a slap in the hand?
Yeah, and that's what the contract already says. The existence of the contract is management will comply.
Right.
That's what we started with.
Right.
And so to win a grievance and get what we started with, yeah.
So this is a good read, but a lot of stuff that's on here that we say
it's
that
nice
we
in principle.
but it's not happening.
Right.
Okay?
It's not being put into practice.
Which, like Corey always talks about it, like, he wants, when he wins, to enforce all these things.
Right.
Okay. So I sure hope that happens. Okay.
Yeah.
And I sure hope if Mike Cariff wins, that he'll enforce to make sure that happens.
Yeah.
That holds saying and protect our CBA. Okay.
Right.
Also ensures financial transparency and accountability. Okay.
The Constitution does.
Okay.
Right.
So I don't know. It seems like they're always hiding stuff there's no transparency on anything. And we just had a meeting where we can't even record the meeting. So we can't even prove saying that they changed the words from the minutes from the previous month, because as soon as our president goes, well, prove that I said this. And one of the carriers says, oh, I recorded the meeting and I know you said this. And then he goes, whoa, you can't have that here in the meeting. And then he tried to kick out a union paying member out of the general meeting.
Yeah. So it's an interesting case.
So where's the transparency? I'm sorry.
Well, yeah. Do you want to talk about that further, or do you want to?
Go ahead.
It's an interesting case because here in Nevada, we are what's called a one-party state, where as long as one of the parties in a conversation knows that it's being recorded, then it's legal to record. And so as soon as this was brought up, people in the union hall got upset. And they were like, hey, I don't consent to being recorded. And the fact is, by law, you don't have to consent. As long as one of the people knows they're being recorded. If you're a third party listening in, that's prohibited. But if Michael and I are having a conversation, as long as either me or Michael knows we're being recorded, then it's legal. Consent doesn't come into it from the other party. However, and also on that point, in our bylaws, in our branch, and in the Constitution, there is no prohibition on this, right? So it is not prohibited.
Right.
Okay. The other side of the coin is that the branch president said, well, I'm asking you to turn it off or to leave. And I believe that the branch president does have that right. And that he can say, I don't want you to record, because it's also not allowed for in the, his saying that doesn't violate the bylaws. It doesn't violate the Constitution. That is a decision he can make.
Per one meeting.
Yeah, right. He can say, I don't want you to record. And if you disagree with it, there's a process for that, which is Article 11. And so the carrier could have said, I think you're making the wrong decision here. I don't think the rules are on your side. I'm going to appeal your decision under Article 11, and it would have gone to the vote of the branch.
Right.
So that's how that stuff under the Constitution and the bylaws should be resolved. Ultimately, things kind of devolved, and the carrier ultimately backed down. I was like, all right, I'll turn off the recording. Yeah. And so it's essentially unresolved at this point.
Right.
Yeah, go ahead.
And that is why I'm talking about the ensuring transparency and accountability.
Yeah. Dude, hold on. I got to interrupt one more time. Because, dude, if you don't think I'm fucking fair on this podcast, I just said that the president has the right to tell this person no, a person with whom I am allied. I came down on the side of the president and didn't do anything wrong in this case. So if that ain't fair, I don't know what is. Okay, go ahead.
So anyway, that right there where it says, it also says unity and solidarity. I skipped a couple things, okay?
Yep.
By outlining common goals, responsibilities, and protocols, the NALC Constitution helps foster a sense of unity and solidarity among city letter carriers. It reinforces the idea that workers are stronger when they stand together, and ensures the union speaks with one voice when negotiating with employers, influencing policy, or supporting labor rights. So
all right.
On this, I thought of something. He says a one voice. I'm thinking Brian Renfro read that. Maybe he thought that it was his one voice.
Well, dude, to go back to the Constitution, it is.
Okay.
Except for during the convention, he is the one voice.
Okay. But it says a union speaks. So that to me is, as a union means, it can't be just that one person.
And this is where our resolutions at the convention are supposed to matter. And so when we pass like the open bargaining resolution and it says, hey, there should be a full accounting of everything that went on during the bargaining.
Right.
He's supposed to abide by that.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I thought that was kind of important to read that part too.
Yeah.
Okay. But there's some amendment process and how that goes and so forth. And there's other things on there. I don't want to, I think that's it.
Yep.
Okay. Anybody who wants to read more about it, like I said, it's on the December Postal Record, page 26.
Right.
Okay. I got one more thing to go over.
All right.
Okay. This is from an article that came from Mac Julian.
Yeah. We like that guy. He seems like he's one of the good ones.
Yeah. Well, he is very clear. When he talks, he's very clear. He doesn't make a statements that's unclear.
Right. And, I'm really of two minds about him, because it was the same thing when Manny Peralta went on to Next Generation. And I was so impressed. He came off as A, very charming, but B, very pro-carrier, saying all the right things. And it's the same with Mac Julian.
Right.
He comes across as one of the good ones up there,
who's
just on our side.
Because, but some people, when you listen, they sound like just talking a bunch of nonsense and bullshit.
Yeah. I don't, right.
Yeah.
But
I don't see that from Mac Julian.
But why I'm two minds of it is because this is still the executive board. He's on the executive board that continued to enable, unless he's like assistant. Oh, he's assistant. No, so he was appointed. That's an appointed position, assistant secretary.
No. He is.
I don't know if he's on the executive board.
No, he was voted
or not.
in. No, he was voted in.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm not sure about that.
I swear he was voted in.
Okay. All right. Well, in any case, I don't know if he's on the executive board or not. But that's the conflict that I have, is that the executive board, essentially with the exception of Mike Cariff, kept enabling Renfro.
The reason he was voted in is because when they were nominating the officers, nobody went against it.
Right. Well, that was the same with James Henry.
So because of that, he automatically won by acclamation.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Because he won it when we were in Chicago.
Okay.
Which he is from Chicago.
Ah, look at that.
Yeah.
All right. I only bring it up to say that I don't want to give members of the executive board a free pass.
Right.
However likable they may be.
Yeah, I don't know how many there are, but I do remember when there was vote for Renfro was getting the vote saying that this article chart that was coming, and there was like a vote of 9-5. So there were like 5 people that voted saying that Renfrew couldn't do that.
Right.
But we don't know all the names of people that did that.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I don't know the names of people that
Right.
did that.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's just move on.
Yeah. So anyway, it's our assistant secretary treasurer.
He is on the executive board. I just looked it up.
Mac Julian wrote an article. Okay. The part that I really wanted to go over is the officers of the branch, because that's something that me and Alan and a bunch of people we've been dealing with.
Big dispute about this,
and then one of the things we filed an appeal.
That's still sitting up at national. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Go ahead.
So I'm going to read that part. Okay. The officers of the branch. This is found in Article 4, Section 1 of the Constitution for the governing of subordinates and federal branches. There is a common error here. Not surprising, considering that there are a change at the Chicago Convention in 2022. Every branch must have a mutual benefit association representative along with other required officers. Okay. Right. That's funny. Didn't our MBA officer quit, and then our president kept asking for who wants to do it and who wants to? Nobody seemed to want to do it. So
I don't remember.
And then I don't even know who the MBA officer is.
I couldn't tell you.
Okay. But anyway, I'll go on. Okay. For smaller branches, with the other for smaller branches, this may require some of the positions to be combined, but the duties need to be accounted for in the bylaw. And if any of these positions are combined, this must be explicitly stated in the bylaws.
Right.
Okay?
Which is why our bylaws recently had to be rewritten.
Right.
Yep.
But here's the thing, because in our election, there is nothing in the bylaws that combine the steward with other officers or anything like that. There's nothing in the bylaws about that. Okay. The only thing that I saw in there is that the president is the head steward.
Yeah, which is standard.
Okay.
Yeah.
The required officers are required.
Yeah.
These are the officers that says required. President, vice president, recording secretary, financial secretary, treasurer, sergeant at arms, MBA representative, health benefit representative, health benefit representative, and
MBA
representative, health benefit representative, and trustees.
Okay.
And
3 or 5
which is
trustees.
3 or 5 trustees. So it's not an even number.
Right.
Didn't we have a lot of even numbers for some reason at our branch?
I don't
for some
think
reason.
so.
No, we did.
I mean, unless we had somebody step down and we were waiting for their position to be refilled.
Well, that's what's happening now. We're waiting for a position to be filled.
Yeah, I'm surprised that didn't get announced at our last branch meeting. Who got that trustee position?
Right.
Yeah.
Funny how he quits right after the election. Okay.
Sometimes things come up in life, dude. It happens. All right. Anyway, let's move on.
Because of health issues that he said that we all knew that he had before that.
Okay, dude.
So I'm just getting a little upset that I think.
Is there more to the article?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
If any of those listed positions are not among the elected officers of your branch, then your bylaws need to be amended. Okay. So this pre-selection, there is no such thing says that you cannot run for steward and officer. It does not say that.
No.
Okay.
Those are separate elections.
Those are separate elections.
Yeah.
So because it says it has to be amended, it has to say that. Okay. Nowhere in our bylaws says that you cannot only run for one position. Okay.
Okay. Right.
That's the paragraph.
Okay. I thought there was something else in there that you wanted to get to.
I do.
Okay. Go on.
Okay. Next one is branch funds and spending the branch money.
Right.
Okay. You will find this in Article 12, Section 3 of the CGSFB. And we consistently receive proposals that would allow the president, executive board, or other officers of the power to authorize the spending of branch funds. This is no. The section states, no appropriation shall be made except when ordered by a majority vote of the members present and voting at a regular meeting. Officers may be allowed to spend money between meetings, but this is limited to emergencies and to an amount specified in the bylaws. Of course, this is outside the allocation for recurring bills, reimbursement, or compensation, but that too needs to be specifically stipulated in the bylaws.
Right. So we've heard, now I've said it before, I'll say it again. I don't see evidence of financial impropriety in our branch.
Actually,
but I have heard from people at other branches who are like, yeah, our branch just remodeled the whole branch headquarters. never ran it by the branch, never got any kind of approval for it. And so this stuff, we know this is going on out there, that there's misappropriation.
Yeah, I don't have any proof on some of the things, but I know that
but go ahead and say it anyway.
Because me and Alan's been fighting, I've noticed that actually our branch is bringing up at the general meeting more of the stuff to pass to get approved.
Oh, yeah.
Before
they
we
used
fought,
to not do that. Right.
It was hardly anything.
Right. This is one of the tangible effects that we've had on the operation of our branch is they used to never read out the warrants to we're going to pay $75 for the phone bill and $200 in gas and things like that. They used to never do that.
Right.
And now that we've started holding them accountable, they finally started doing it.
Yeah.
And that is a real credit.
So when Alan says, I don't see my... that's because we were holding them accountable a lot more than before.
Yeah, that is absolutely
because
true.
of what we're doing. Yes.
Yep.
So... I think that's pretty much that I wanted to go over.
Dude, and there was a financial mistake in the minutes too. And the minutes is always a rubber stamp. And dude, one of our allies is like, wait a minute, it says $10,000 for this and that doesn't seem right. And they had to go back and correct the minutes. And dude, that's cool.
Right.
Yep.
But here's the issue was one of the issues was they wanted to send Christmas cards or something like that. And then we were fighting back and forth saying, no, it says Christmas letter, going back and forth, and then the president says, "Well, where's the proof?" And then Kerry goes, "Well, I recorded the meeting."
Right, we already talked about that.
I know, yeah.
Okay.
So that's where now the transparency, how are we going to keep these people accountable when they're going to hide and there is no transparency?
Yeah, this is the question, right? Because they could put essentially whatever they want in the minutes, and that's what stands. And how are you going to dispute it?
Right.
Yep. That's the difficulty.
Because he wanted to say, "Where's your proof?"
In that case, when the motion was originally made, it did say Christmas letter, and so the minutes were correct in that instance.
No, it was not.
Yeah, dude. She said she listened back to it, and it said Christmas letter.
No.
But then the president said Christmas card.
Right.
Yeah, but motion...
That is exactly what I said.
Right, but the motion is accurately reflected.
No, it's not accurately reflected, because...
The motion was for a Christmas letter.
No,
dude, we're not going to talk about
Christmas card.
We're not going to argue about this on Classes of Mail.
Yeah.
Because it's totally irrelevant to the audience.
Well, yeah.
And dude, even if that's right, okay, then what?
Yeah.
What do you want to do with that information? And no.
Transparency is what I'm talking about.
All right. I'm a pull rank as the host here. Because, guys, I've been trying to make it a point to have fewer arguments at the branch. Because... even if you're right, okay, what do you want done about it? Like the guy who was bringing up in Fred Woodley's branch that there was this PPP loan that he felt was inappropriately taken out by the branch, the Paycheck Protection Program during COVID. Okay, let's say that the branch really did inappropriately take out this Paycheck Protection Program loan. It's already been forgiven. It's all done. What do you want done about it? Let's say you're right and they're guilty. Okay, now what? And the dude had no answer. He had no, I don't know. Well, then what are you doing? What are you trying to accomplish here? And I really want to keep that in mind, that the arguments need to be productive.
Yeah. Well, my argument is, there's not much we can do on that. But when we bring up trying to get proof that the meeting was said this way and then they change it in the minutes.
Yeah.
How are we going to fix that problem?
Right. I agree with you. Right.
Okay.
And that's handled by recording. Dude, if I was president, I would say we should record every meeting so that we know.
So we can be
not
accurate.
Only that, but the meeting should be on fucking Zoom.
Right.
So that there's total transparency.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, to the article that you read that talks about transparency, that's how you get transparency. Is you put people on the record.
Right. Especially when they're trying to pass money.
Yeah. All right, so we got a written record here from the person who did the recording. And it reads, I re-listened to the last meeting. The person who made the motion for a letter. That's what it says on this text. So the motion was recorded correctly by the goodest oldest boy. In the discussion about it, some people referred to it as a Christmas card.
And that's where the confusion came.
But the motion was for a letter.
Now,
all right, dude.
Yeah. But again, that's where I'm having a problem is that because it was so confusing.
Sure.
And because we're not recording anything,
Yeah.
And thankfully, she recorded.
Well, the role of the chair is to restate the motion before you vote on it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I don't know if that happened or not. That wasn't addressed in what was sent. But, dude, all it is a phenomenal waste of time.
No,
talking about it on Classes of Mail is a phenomenal waste of time.
I don't think so because the stonewalling that we always talk about.
Yeah.
Okay? Well, I don't want to have it where they try to do something on one meeting and then in the minutes they say something different.
Okay, that's fair. Right.
Yeah.
And they have a stranglehold on the information. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's absolute. Because, dude, who knows how many things. Like, the minutes are not thorough, and who knows how many things have been in the minutes that are inaccurate.
So I'm going to give you an example.
Okay.
There were a lot of times where I brought up stuff in the meeting. Next month's minutes, I'm not mentioned anywhere.
It's not in there, right? Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, they were purposely trying to keep me out of things where I'm trying to improve the
Right,
branch.
the minutes are edited. Yeah, there's no question about that. Yep.
And that's where I'm talking about, like, how do we fix this problem? I don't know either.
Right.
Except
well, the obvious solution is
vote them all out.
is more transparency.
Yeah.
Right, and that's
because they don't want transparency.
I think that's the argument, and I think you're right to bring that up.
Yeah.
Because we say, okay, the solution is more transparency, and the good old boys who are in charge say,
don't want to do it.
Absolutely not. Yep, they are adamantly opposed to more transparency.
Yeah, they're blocking. That's why they try to kick the carrier out of the meeting.
Right.
Because we don't want transparency.
I don't want to be on record saying the things I said.
Yeah.
All right. On that note, let's get out of here. Michael, thank you very much for coming on. And everybody in the audience, thank you guys for listening. Are you good to go there? You are good. All right. And we will catch you all next time.